I've been able to find some really cool stuff within Fragments when I really just start twisting knobs in there that really just take things to a totally different soundscape.
What's up? It's Ari. I'm a 22-time gold and platinum mixer, producer, and engineer. You'd know me from my work on albums like Moneybagg Yo's A Gangsta's Pain, Time Served, Royce the 5'9's Grammy-nominated album The Allegory, and you guys are here in my studio in Memphis, Tennessee. Man, I started making music like end of middle school, beginning of high school. I started learning to play guitar, and then I just fell into playing in bands. Came time that we needed to start making demos. I managed to scrounge up some money and get like a little digital Tascam 8-track recorder. And that was the first thing I ever recorded on. And from there, I really just started falling more and more into the recording side of things. Fragments, to me, does a whole bunch of stuff that I don't really understand, but it does it in a really cool way. The way it takes grains and resynthesizes and just allows you to automate and add motion within a lot of the parameters creates a plugin that almost feels like water. It feels so fluid in how it responds to music. That's really one of my favorite things about Fragments is that granular verb. It's so rich, it's so lush, but it doesn't get in the way of the record, right? You know, the way it's delaying, the way it's modulating down here, and the way it's modulating the size of those grains, right? And then what happens if we take it, one of my favorite things is to start playing with this grain crush option. Let's try this EMU soft, see what we get. That's butter, and that's one of my favorite features right now in Fragments. There's this really cool thing with Fragments to me that even when you push it in weird ways, it just seems so inherently musical. That's all I'm ever looking for when I'm designing sounds and, you know, trying to blend the surreal with the musical. So we've got this. We've got a Rhodes that was played to a drum loop. Now, nothing ever happened with that. That wasn't one of the sections of the jam that the artist found any inspiration in. What happens if we put Fragments on here? What can we get? Right? We just took a Rhodes part and just added a whole different flair to it. It's a whole new idea for a whole new record. Like, that to me is incredible. It's invaluable. You know, I can just take stuff and sit here and play around and mess around and twist knobs, and every sound I've found so far just sits like music. I first discovered Arturia through their classic analog synths. I was looking for a collection of synths that could recreate very specific things where it was like, oh man, I'm looking for like a Juno feel, or I'm looking for a Moog type feel, or I need a Rhodes real quick, I need a Wurlitzer real quick. And when I found those sounds, they sounded just like the instrument. From there, it just became so fast to get specific desired sounds. It becomes personal. You know, the music that we make, the approach that I take in the mix, it's personal for everybody. It's not only like, oh, it's a big record, but it's like, oh, it's a big record with somebody that I remember sitting on a studio bus with 6-7 years ago. You know, and like that to me is so cool. Finding plugins that retain a sense of musicality is really important to me within the digital space. You know, I do so much in the analog realm to maintain like a richness and a warmth that I look for plugins and software that doesn't feel cold to me. And like Fragments has been able to sit in a textural spot that's very rich, and it can get out there, but it never gets like cold and you know, emotionless.